Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Baddies East Season 4 Episode 17 review. This week's episode was really good. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Things pick up where we left off last week with Rolly and Suki arguing, and they're about to bang, okay? So Suki got her dukes up. She like, what's up? Rolly runs up. Pow, pow, pow in the head. But one thing I will say, that people were saying that Suki just got beat up. She was getting her licks in on Rolly. If you look at that fight, she was getting her licks in on Rolly's head, okay? And especially considering it was like Tamoon. I don't know which one was Tamoon and which one was Pumbaa, but I'm thinking she might have been like the Tamoon one, the little one, going up against a hungry hippo. Like, yeah, she held her own. I give it to Suki. So mind you, when they're fighting, Sapphire jumping on top of the table instead of jumping in, okay? Because first of all, this wasn't even Rolly's argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And I ain't no way I'm about to let my best friend fight no big 400 pounds and counting chick like that. Because it's going to take two of you to go up against something like that. Absolutely not. So after they get broken up, Suki want another round, honey, because she ain't scared. And Suki was like, you tired and you got love handles. You can't fight for more than 15 seconds, which was funny. Then Rolly hit her back with, you dirty PB. And Suki was like, your son dirty, F you and your child. And I was like, whoa, Jesus, this is getting really cutthroat here. So Rolly was like, you sold your career for 50 KB. You broke AH. And Rolly in her confession was like, I did knock the B head into the wall, snatched the B wig off, had her looking like Tracy Morgan. Because it was true. Because Suki do look like Tracy Morgan. Now I will never be able to look at her the same way again. Then we see E.T. grab a water bottle and she walks past Rolly. She's undoing the bottle top. And we see her then splash the whole bottle of water in Suki's face. And I swear Suki looked like she was in the ocean. She looked like she was under the sea. Like, baby, you couldn't tell me that wasn't a whole ocean wave and not a bottle of Aquafina. And this is where Sapphire really blew me. So you didn't watch your friend fight literally Andre the Giant, Rikishi, okay? And you do nothing. Then you see the person she was initially arguing with, E.T., grab a bottle of water and splash it in her face, and you still don't do nothing. We see Suki say, get that, and Sapphire doesn't get anything. She doesn't get anything. She's continuously pushing Suki back. And so when Suki realizes, oh, she not going to do nothing, she gets mad at this point and was like, get off me, H, get off me, B. Yeah, and I would feel the exact same way. Yeah, you about to be every name in the book, especially now that we found out that the only reason why Suki did this show is because Sapphire wanted to be on the show. And Zeus said the only way they would let her on the show is if Suki did the show. So I'm up here trying to help you out, trying to get you a bag, trying to get you some shine and, promoting you, getting you a job and all of this stuff. And you then let me get assaulted by two chicks at the same time and you don't do nothing. Oh yeah, we'll never be friends again. I don't care how long they've been friends. I will never, ever be your friend again. I'm sticking my neck out for you. I didn't have to do this show. I already got a job on VH1, okay? And then you let me hang out there to dry? Oh, girl, you could forget about ever speaking to me ever again in life. Ever again in life. Never, ever. So Sapphire in her confessional tells him, I'm holding my best friend back and I'm like, chill, we're not doing this. I'm trying to find peace between both parties. Heifer, you ain't head of state. You ain't running for city council. This ain't a peace treaty. What do you mean? You trying to make sure it can be peace between both parties. This is your best friend. You don't know these girls. You just met them. Ain't no peace, bruh. It's up and it's stuck. Like, what are you talking about? She is so lame. Lame. So Rolly still saying that she beat Suki up. You didn't. You didn't beat her up. Neither one of y'all beat each other up, to be honest. Suki at this point is crying and going off on Sapphire because she can't believe that she left her out there hanging like that and didn't stick up for her. So Sapphire was like, you didn't see everything. You ain't see me jump on the table. You jumped on the table to look down at the fight. Like, how is that helping me? Okay, like literally, how is that helping me? I'm not only fighting Rolly and her fists, but I'm fighting Rolly, her 2 fists, her 2 watermelon-sized breasts, her stomach. I'm fighting 5 people basically at once, and all you doing is sightseeing. Girl, get out of girl. Ooh, no. So after that, Suki goes and gets on the sprinter with Bobby, and Bobby is pissed. And he's going off about Sapphire. And so Sapphire gets on the sprinter and Bobby was like, Sapphire, that was crazy. You did her dirty, B. And Sapphire was like, tell me how I did her dirty. And Bobby was like, I watched everything. You a fake AB. Sapphire then has the gall to say, I'm trying to figure out how. What? So Suki was like, girl, just go. Everybody's saying it. And I'm never going to trust her again. Period. So then Sapphire says in her confessional, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. My loyalty is to my friend. If Ish go left, and I feel like at that point she could be handled differently. That's how I handled it. I feel like that wasn't my best friend that night. That was the devil. Huh? And you must be one of the disciples because I'm so confused at your initial thought process behind this. Why would you be sitting up here trying to broker peace on a show called Baddies where y'all are booked to fight? First of all. Second of all, why are you trying to broker peace and simmer things down between your best friend and 2 heifers that you just met? It ain't like all y'all came up together, grew up together, y'all all was besties and none of that. So what do you mean? What do you mean, girl? It's literally giving you were scared of them. Literally. You were scared because it's obvious based off when you had the altercation with Smiley and based off next week's episode when you fight Mariah that you like to fight easy targets, somebody that you feel like you can naturally beat up. But when it comes to girls that might be on your level, you don't want no smoke. And that's some PUSSY to me. That's so PUSSY to me. Like, girl, get your life. Like, and the fact that she was sitting up there crying, acting like she was the victim in all of this was just like, wow. So she then gets on the sprinter with Natalie, Rolly on the sprinter, ET on the sprinter, and Mariah. This is the problem. Why are you then getting on the sprinter with them and then on there hooping and hollering and complaining about your best friend to 2 heifers that she just got into it with, and then you don't understand why she feeling the way she feel? Make it make sense, dodo brain. So Sapphire Thompson, ain't no B gonna play me like I ain't have my friend back. You didn't. And then she tells me when these cameras are gone, they're still supposed to be my best friend. That's done. She was talking so big on the sprinter with them. And so she gets off the sprinter with them and then gets on another sprinter or something with the other girls. I don't know where she went, child. But I didn't like the fact that she even went to that sprinter. You should have been going to the other sprinter with the girls. Ain't no contact with them right about now. Like, you wild. So after she gets off the sprinter, we then see Mariah Lynn on her phone and she looks up the video that was going around showing Suki OnlyFans where she had brown stuff coming out of her cootie cat. Okay. And they were laughing about it and Rolly was calling her dirty and all of this type of stuff. And I'm looking at Mariah Lynn like, what is your problem? What is your problem? You mad because Suki checked you about jumping into stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you? Y'all come from the same franchise. You would think that you would try to have her back. But you up here kicking it with the ops, adding on to the drama and talking about her. Like, Mariah, you get an L for that. You really get an L for that. Like, that made me really look at you sideways. So Natalie talking about how she don't want Scotty on the sprinter with them because she's still mad at her, this, that, and the third. The next day, we have a scene with Rolly, Mariah, Natalie, and Sapphire. And once again, I'm looking at Sapphire like, what are you doing? What are you doing, garbage pail kid? Because that's exactly what you look like. A little dirt dauber. Why are you even filming with Rolly? I don't care if the producers ask you or not. Why are you sitting there? This, once again, is the problem. What are you doing, bro? Girl, Suki, after this, you better not be friends with her no more. I don't care. I know they supposedly tried to work through things and all of that type of stuff. And they said at the reunion, Sapphire did her big one when it came to ET. But I don't care. Because you already showed me how you move. I don't care what you do. So she mad that Suki ain't speaking to her. Mariah bring up how Suki checked her about saying it was weird the way Scotty was moving when it came to Natalie. And lo and behold, Rolly jumps in and agrees with Suki and checks her as well and tell her she need to mind her business because at the end of the day, you don't know their friendship like that. You ain't been here. And they're best friends. This ain't got nothing to do with you. And now Mariah looking stupid in the face. Yeah, because you sitting up here running behind the wrong girl. They ain't got no allegiance to you. They don't like you for real, for real, for real. You just somebody that just following in behind them. They ain't got no allegiance to you. You should have really been sticking close to them other girls. You should have been sticking close to Suki, somebody that actually knows you. And now she's sitting there looking dumb in the face, looking all pink in the face, looking like a My Little Pony, just sitting there dumb. So after that, E.T. come hobbling out because she said she broke her leg at some point and it gets swole or whatever. And I'm like, that's what you get. Girl, that's gout. That's what you got. You got gout. So Rolly says to Sapphire that she did have Suki back. No, she didn't. And you know she didn't. You just trying to get in her head and make her go against Suki. And cause a bigger rift between them. And E.T. saying the same thing. And I'm like, I see what y'all trying to do. And Sapphire says when Suki drinks, she's a different person. Once again, why are you talking about her to these girls? Why? You're being fake as I don't know what. And I wish at the reunion, Suki would have beat you up because of the way that you was talking and moving. Like, gross. So she then goes on to say, I'm not about to fight no B and my best friend defending my op. I don't F with Smiley. First of all, this wasn't about defending Smiley or liking Smiley. This was about the fact that they were being disgusting by E.T. pouring a drink on this girl head like she's not a human being. She might have been a liar. She might be a stunt queen and all of these things. But that still don't give you a right to sit up there and degrade nobody and bully somebody and break them down in that way. It was too far. It was too much. And that's what Suki was saying. Okay? Because this is like, okay, we can fight and do all that. But now y'all doing way too much. That was disgusting. That was hard to watch. And I don't even care for Smiley. But that still was hard to watch. So you can shut up. You really can. Looking like a box of Crayola crayons. Girl, get out of here. Sapphire then has a meetup with Suki. Suki didn't even really want to talk to her. And she starts it off by saying, I'm going to genuinely apologize to you because you feel like I didn't have your back. That is not an apology. Like, I hate when people say, I'm sorry if you feel. What? No, girl, you didn't have her back. It ain't got nothing to do with how she feel. That's factual. You did not have her back. You left her out there to the wolves, ma'am. So Suki was like, did you? And Sapphire was like, I did. And Suki was like, okay, I don't need an apology from you. If you're saying you have my back, and that you had my back, then what are you apologizing for? Exactly. And so Suki was like, I feel like you were scared. I feel like you were scared. And at the end of the day, we all got to go home. Who are you going with? Who gonna have your back? Not these heifers. And so now it seemed like it was starting to dawn on her, oh, I got to go home. And I'm going to have to face our friends and family. And it's probably going to be like that for me when we get home. Yeah, girl. Because this girl literally got you a job and then you ish on her in this type of way. Yeah, you got to go home, my love. These girls ain't going home with you. And then that's when we saw a 180 with Sapphire. And so she gonna say in her confessional, Suki, knowing how I am, she had different expectations for me. I was letting my feelings get involved. But like she said, at the end of the day, she's my friend. I don't know these girls like that. Girl, she didn't have to say that for you to know that. You already knew that. You was scared. So Sapphire was like, you right. I effed up. Oh, now you realize you effed up because she done low-key threatened you. So Suki was like, I mean, you gonna have to fight that H and we good. Period. And they hug, but I ain't see her hold on to her word. Later on that night when they went to the club, she ain't do nothing. Sitting there looking like a janitor. Bye. Then we go to Natalie and Scotty. Scotty goes to Natalie's room to talk to her, but she come in with an attitude because she has had it with Miss Natalie, the chin. Okay, she has had it with her. And she came in there with just her purse and her outfit on and no shoes. And so as soon as Natalie saw she ain't had no shoes on, Natalie was like, oh, okay, we about to thump. Now, mind you, Lemmy is in the room with them as well as the cameraman and the security guard. He in there drinking and thinking, child. So they argue back and forth over this food situation when really that is not what they're arguing about. They're arguing about this situation with Lemmy. I feel like Natalie was feeling like you effing the boss. And now you think you on my level or you're getting special treatment and you acting like I ain't the one that put you on. Don't think because you effing this man that you better than me, you bigger than me, and you about to get more than me. That's what that was about. That's exactly what that was about. It was about sunning her and reminding her, little girl, you need to step down, my love, pipe down. So they arguing back and forth, and Scotty was like, what's up? And she goes to swing on Natalie. And at first she was doing good. I was low-key kind of proud of Scotty. She like grabbed Natalie by the head. She got in a couple of little pow-pows to her head. It wasn't really nothing major. It was like light work. It was literally like kid taps. And then Natalie, grabbed her by the back of her braids and yanked her head back. And then that's when Natalie tried to get the best of her, but it was more so a bunch of her pulling. It really wasn't no straight up fight for real. You know what I'm saying? She got a lick or two in, but they was mostly just grabbing each other's hair. And at this point, Lemmy ran in there with his drink in his hand. He hurried up and put it down. So he trying to break up the fight, which you never see him do. The security guards are trying to break things up. They're finally broken up. And Natalie was like, look at that face. Look at that face. And basically she had like one scratch, on her forehead from Natalie's wedding ring. But the other red patches were just, blotchiness from being, from fighting and her being so light skinned or whatever. But Scotty did have to grab a Red Bull and roll it on her head, child. So they steady arguing, going back and forth, and Natalie is complaining about the fact that Scotty feels entitled. They told her not to bring her dog. She brought her dog anyway. They told her not to bring her dog on this part of the trip. She did it anyway, and they end up having to wait 4 hours at the airport, and it was just a bunch of stuff. And Natalie was saying how the girls always complaining to her about Scotty and Scotty feeling entitled. And I think that it's once again a thing of you effing the boss and you think that you that girl. You think you Janisha for real. That's what that's about. So they end up hugging it out and crying, child. And I'm looking at them like, y'all are deranged. Deranged. I low-key feel like Scotty came in there on 10, not only because she was sick of Natalie, but when Lemmy was in there, I felt like she didn't want to get punked in front of her boo thing. So she was like, I'm going to attack first. So that night, the girls head to the club, and Natalie and the Sprinter talking about Scotty again. Like, y'all just made up. You so-called crying, she crying, but then as soon as you get around the other girls, you immediately talking trash about her again. And then don't think I ain't peeped that she still had on the same outfit she just fought Scotty in. And after that fight, she was glistening with sweat. So that means you ain't washed your A before you went to the club. Okay, little dirty. So she says to the girl she feels like she's being used by Scotty and all of this type of stuff. Like, I'm so sick of these scissor sisters. I don't know what to do with myself. Sapphire ends up coming alone. Suki and Scotty ride together. While they're at the club, Natalie tries to get the girls to have a kumbaya moment and hug. And Suki was like, absolutely not. I'm not hugging these heifers. No. And she tells, I think it was like Sky or either Camila, that she heard from everybody in the club that Mariah want to fight her. So she like, what's up? And looks like on next week's episode, things are going to go left for Mariah Lynn, child. Po thing, po tink, but she brought it on herself. This week's episode of Baddies was really good. It was one of the best out of this season so far. I was 100% behind Suki in this instant. Rolly really has become unlikable. I really am tired of her. She used to be a fan favorite, and now she absolutely irks my soul. She irks my anal cavity. Like, I just cannot with her. Natalie just big and sloppy and just look like a big stick of unsalted butter. Like, I just can't with her. Scotty, girl, please go back playing soccer and just be a suburbanite. Like, Lemmy, stop effing the talent, because somebody gonna end up suing you. You gonna be the next Diddy in a minute. Janisha, I'm happy you got producing credits, so you can still get a coin from this show, even if you, from these shows, if you do decide to lead this man, but it don't look like she did much of nothing. We'll see if she at the reunion hosting. I know Nene was one of the hosts. But Janisha, girl, maybe she one of them girls where she like, if he like it, I love it. You know, as long as he taking care of me, I don't care what he do. And it very well could be the dynamic of their relationship. But yeah, this is a good episode of Baddies. I'm gonna give this week's episode an A. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.